Today is the last day of February and we've all done well to get this far through 2 months of lockdown now. It's quite a nice sunny day as well. Bit of a cold fresh start with a frost earlier, but I'm heading east today, away from my usual haunts, but still from the doorstep. I'm going towards West Hewish and the A370, but not quite that far. A fairly short walk. It shouldn't take more than 2 hours, and we're going to try and find some lost or forgotten rights of way. A bit of road walking first thing, and I'm wearing my La Sportiva boots because they're more comfortable on the road than the big heavy Altbergs, but not nearly as waterproof. This is part of the National Cycle Network as well. We're about to cross the M5 motorway. This next bridge takes over the railway line that connects Weston with Bristol. Just before the A370 ahead, I'm going to turn left heading through the fields over here. I've walked this way only once before. That was in April last year during the first lockdown. Heading towards the Old Bridge River. It's quite a short river locally. A bit further ahead it's more interesting because it stops. First you must cross this railway line. Safe down there. Yep, all clear. Basically, it goes through Yatton and Backwell on the way to Bristol. And down here is Old Bridge River. Not known to many locally, I don't think. I think Andy Ballard on YouTube has been down here a few times in his canoe or kayak. If you can see the metal bridge ahead, that's where the right-of-way crosses the river. And we're going that way. When I came here last year, this end of the bridge was crudely blocked off with wooden pallets, possibly for some kind of rudimentary livestock control. I know that further on from here the way becomes less certain, even though it's still on the map, and it's possibly the owner's way of saying you shall not pass. Yeah, same as last year. 2 bits of wood. I mean, legally I can still walk along here. I'm not aware it's been closed, there's no notice to say so. So I'm going to go as far as I can. So on this side now is the Meetup Activity Centre, which is where Meetup Outdoor Pursuits do their thing in Hewish. I came here probably 1996, I think, to do an archery course out here. That was good fun. I think I also came here a couple of years earlier in like a raft building challenge with a group of us from school. And basically we had 2 groups of us, and the aim was to build a raft using inflatable objects like big plastic buckets, that sort of thing, plastic containers and rope. And to be honest, I was just too scared about the whole thing. I ended up avoiding it all sitting on my own. The thought of falling in this water and whatever might be in there just terrified me. Somewhere near here as well there are some reeds you have to cross along a single rope bridge. On the first one you have 2 handrails, ropes, one either side, and the middle one to walk on, And the second one, which I also avoided, got the one handrail and the one rope beneath you. It's absolutely terrifying when you're sort of 10 years old and they say, oh, it's alright, these greens are only 9 foot deep, you'll be fine. And just look in there and it's all murky and brown, and just, it really put me off. I was so scared, I just couldn't do it at all. And to my right now is the bank of the River Yo. And according to the Ramblers Lost Paths campaign, you know, the Don't Lose Your Way, I discovered a few months ago that on the historic maps, there's a public footpath going from here, along the Yo, along the bank, on towards Hewish and Congsbury. But today there's no legal right of way here. And when I came here in April last year, there was a lady ahead of me. She came along this way and she just turned off and followed that way. So maybe she knew it as a footpath in the past, I don't know. I'm hoping that it gets reinstated at some point, because my walk might end right here and I have to turn back again. But if you could do a circular route that goes north from here, I think it's northeast, towards Phipps Bridge, which is a sluice gate, and then on towards Yatton or Congsbury, wherever really, that could be quite good. My next challenge would be to cross this bridge here, which you can barely see in the undergrowth. And I suspect that apparatus there is blocking the way. So I can squeeze through here and climb over 2 gates there. And the right of way then goes across this field, down towards that corner, and follows the M5 down through a few further gates and comes out on the road I walked down earlier. There's supposed to be a right of way I've not tried before that goes along the Yo on this side and then through the M5 there, but I think that's the other side of the path I mentioned earlier. That's the one that's been cut off and bisected, so I can't go that way. There's no way of passing beneath it. It should be like right here. Let's have a look at the Yo first though. So this is the Congsbury Yo. Which runs from, I think the source is in Compton Martin near Blagdon, and then goes out towards the estuary. Sadly there's no way to sneak through there. There's no culvert that I can see to get underneath, so I'm going to head back a bit. Well, there is something down there, a platform I can see around the corner. I'm not sure how far it goes, how safe it is, and where it comes out. They spent over 10 years building the M5, the whole thing from Birmingham to Exeter. All that time planning it, extending it. They gave no thought towards these rights of way. Right, I'm going to head back the same way. I passed the exit point on the road earlier on this morning, and I noticed that while both the main gates are shut, understandably, it's the entrance to the activity centre. The gap I used last year at the side of it has been closed off as well, and there's no way marking there, never has been. And I saw diggers out the front as well, so I thought there's a big risk of being confronted. Although I'm not really trespassing, I'm just not very comfortable with confrontation. So I'm going to casually head back this way. It's quite a nice walk actually. I'm going to follow the road back, and I might try and show you the entrance site to the Hewish Meetup Activity Centre as we pass it. There's the bank of the Yo again, going towards Hewish. I've got a plan to do a longer walk around here one day when we're allowed to travel a bit further, starting probably in Congsbury, following the river for a further stretch across Puxton, and coming out here and braving this lost footpath really. I'll try and do that in the spring sometime. It is so nice to have sunshine for a change. I've taken a few photos around the area of the obstructions and things and lack of way marking, and when I get home I'll go on the website for North Somerset Council and I'll find the form to fill out to submit these right-of-way concerns and obstructions and report them. Basically, it's a really good thing to do, well worth doing when you can. Normally the guy who responds to me is a guy called Adrian. He's normally quite prompt in replying. He told me 2 years ago about the issues with the paths a bit further west over the M5. And later on today I'm going to go for a very local walk down the road, 10 minutes, to have a look at a folding bike. Had a look on Facebook, found a guy selling one for 180 quid, and I'm going to go and have a look at it. My only concerns are that they're just so small, aren't they? The wheels are tiny. I wonder whether they need more energy, more effort to cover the same pace as a normal size bike. And if I do like it and use it, then it's only for commuting, 4.5 miles each way, 5 days a week. And that could save me £600 a year in fuel costs. It's not like your Rally or an Apollo, one of those brands. It's I think it's a cheaper one, but he's refurbished it himself with some parts from an old Brompton, I think, or genuine Brompton parts. So that to me makes a big difference, because I'm not going to spend money on a Brompton bike because they're just far too high above my budget right now. If I do buy it today, I'll try and show it to you quite soon. Looking back at the M5, across that footbridge, over there is Wilton Hill, where I walked quite recently. This is all sort of West Hewish. Just see the Mendips on the horizon, very faint lump. This is all North Somerset. Some kind of alarm going off over there on that farm. Hopefully not the trespasser alert I triggered in this field. I'm also wearing a smaller pack today. This is the Montane Trailblazer 18. I bought it last summer for trail running, with the idea in mind anyway, for 40 quid. And generally to try and carry a bit less on my doorstep walks. It's got this handy little pouch here for water bottles. I did buy a 250ml Run Hill, I think it's a fuel flask, they call it, or a soft bottle, I think that's the word. That's quite handy for a very local walk. And because no one walks out here very often, my boots are still quite dry and very clean. And I know that further back, close to home, where the paths are well worn, I'm going to find one or two very muddy patches that'll be hard to avoid. For those of you who like trains, you just missed it sadly, as I was dehydrating myself as it passed. I do find it very strange though. Over there you got disconnected footpaths, rights of way, no way marking. Yet over here you've got brand new signs installed. They look quite new anyway, in the last couple of years. And again at the entrance by the road you've got waymark arrows in good condition. It's as if the council have to spend this money somewhere and they kind of waste it on paths that don't really need it unless they're going to do the full job. Along this road I sometimes see fly-tipped waste and lots of the usual fast food litter at the roadside. There's quite a bit in the Reens further back actually. almost home now, and that's just about it from me for today. One more month to go. We should be facing fewer restrictions in England for lockdown. And thanks for watching the video. Hope you're all staying safe and well, keeping active. I'll see you again next time.